Chapter 2. Hello, and welcome to Sleep Like Garcia Bed and Breakfast. My name is Nellie, and as your host, I'm the person in charge of tending to all your needs during your stay with us. Ew, Aishling exclaims, wrinkling her nose. Nellie looks up and gives us an apologetic smile. I'm sorry, it's just something my parents want me to say. Are you checking in? Yeah, but just for the night, I say quickly, and step forward before Aishling can complain about our car troubles for the 100th time. Great, Nellie says with a smile, and turns to the computer. Name? Claire Bryant and Aishling Aferna. 1 room or 2? 1, I reply, but not because our parents couldn't afford it. The purpose of the road trip is to spend time together before we get overwhelmed with cheerleading practices and towers of books. But make it 2 beds, Aishling adds and shrugs when I roll my eyes. I'm not going to be kept up all night because of your tossing and turning. What are you talking about? I sleep great, I argue. You do, but people around you don't. It's not like I have any plans of staying in the room anyway or do much sleeping, I reply with a chuckle. 1 room, 2 beds, Nellie confirms, typing away. When she activates our keycards, she takes 2 bags from underneath the counter and hands them to us. A small complimentary gift to make you remember your stay here. Awesome! Aishling exclaims and looks through its contents. What is it? Slippers, hand towel, bathrobe, and some toiletries, Nellie replies with pride. Probably cheap shit, I mutter under my breath, earning myself Aishling's elbow in the ribs. Nellie's face darkens as she narrows her eyes at me. Despite her small and tiny stature, she's intimidating. I'll have you know that my parents spend a lot of money putting those gifts together. They're engraved with our logos and are of the highest quality, so our guests can bring them home. The happiness of our guests is the best advertisement, and the word of mouth travels faster than any viral post ever could. I flinch and reflexively take a step back. I'm sorry, I apologize. It's been a long day, and the heat's really been a bitch. I know it doesn't give me the right to take it out on you. I honestly think that the place is lovely, and the attention to detail is truly impressive. Nellie studies me for the longest of moments, as if to see whether I'm making fun of her. I smile, hoping to convince her that I meant what I said. I like your freckles. Aishling jumps in, breaking the tension. It's like a map of the universe. Nellie's pale face turns the bright shade of red, and she lifts her hand up to cover her cheeks. The second-hand embarrassment at the direct compliment is overwhelming. I clear my throat and bite the inside of my cheek, desperately trying to come up with something to get rid of it. Great, you've already met, Gabriel says, walking up to us. Grateful for the distraction, I turn to him and smile. Nellie was just about to show us to our room. You all know each other? She asks, her eyes darting from us to Gabriel. I towed their car to the garage, Gabriel explains with ease. I've invited them to the bonfire. Nellie's eyebrows shoot up, and she bites her lower lip. Her reaction is unusual, and I glance at Aishling to see if she noticed it. The slight furrow of her brows confirms it. Are you sure that's a good idea? Nellie asks as if we weren't there. They'll be fine, Gabriel assures her, flashing me a brilliant smile that makes my knees wobble. But after everything we've been through... Nellie starts and trails off. She takes a deep breath, as if searching for words before speaking up again. It's just that there are rules and they're not one of us. Gabriel's brows furrow, but his eyes soften. For a second, I worry that he'll give in and cancel the invite. I hope not, because there's nothing for us to do in their shitty little town. We can follow the rules, I say quickly, even though I'm not familiar with them. Nellie looks at us, her eyes shining with suspicion. I nudge Aishling, urging her to help. Right, she stammers lamely. What Claire said. Gabriel puts his hands on Nellie's shoulders, the intimate gesture speaking volumes about their closeness. With locked gazes, they exchange wordless communication. Annoyed at being left out, I decide to interrupt their profound conversation by loudly clearing my throat. Gabriel glances at me with a guilty look in his eyes and steps away from Nellie. He puts an arm around my shoulders instead, pulling me close to him. I instinctively lean into his chest, momentarily distracted by its hardness. I don't need to see him without a shirt to know his muscles are toned as fuck. I have the right to invite anyone I want, and they're coming whether you like it or not, he tells his friend with a firm voice, then sighs and continues with a softer tone. Take them to your parents' restaurant for lunch and spend some time with them. I'm sure you'll see that they're good people. Nellie frowns and opens her mouth to argue, but the look on Gabriel's face stops her. Gabriel turns to me and gives me a lopsided smile. I hope you'll be on your best behavior, beautiful. I'd love to see you underneath the moonlight. I bite my lower lip to keep myself from smiling. His words hit all the right points, leaving me thirsting for him like a goof. And I'd like to see your clean bill of health before you exchange any bodily fluids with my best friend, Aishling comments and grabs my hand, pulling me toward her. My eyes widen, and right on cue, a wave of heat rushes my cheeks, coloring them in various shades of red. Nellie laughs and pats Gabriel on the shoulder. I changed my mind. They can definitely come, especially her, she says, pointing at Aishling. I think it's the first time you've met a girl who hasn't been fooled by your charm. You haven't been either, he counters. I've only ever had eyes for Max, she replies with a nonchalant shrug. Either way, my charm wasn't meant for her, Gabriel mutters and winks at me. You couldn't get me even if you've tried, Aishling tells him, defiantly crossing her arms over her chest. I'm in a committed relationship with a future brighter than your eyes. By the look on your face, I'm going to guess that even those words are too high level for you. Aishling! I exclaim, trying to look shocked by my best friend's behavior, but the grin on my face isn't helping. Aishling covers her mouth and throws Gabriel an apologetic look. I'm sorry. I don't know what's gotten over me. I promise I'm not mean. Out of the two of us, Claire's the mean one. Hey! I shoot her a look, but she only shrugs because it's the truth. I think they're hungry, Gabriel comments wryly, nudging Nellie. All right, I'll show you to your room so you can freshen up a bit before we head out, Nellie announces, then looks at her friend. You should go back to work, Gabe. Your dad won't let you go to the party if he sees you slacking off. Gabriel's face transforms into an easy grin. He's happy as long as I stay out of trouble. Which has lasted for exactly what? 1 day? 2 days? 15 hours? And about 20 minutes, Gabriel replies, looking at his watch. Nellie rolls her eyes and gives him a gentle push to the door. Get out of here. I'll see you girls later. While our host steps around the reception desk to grab a couple of things, I turn to Aishling, my lips curling up into a wide smile. What? She asks, her brows furrowing in confusion. He's hot, isn't he? I blurt out and bite my lower lip as my mind conjures up the image of his sculptured jaw that I'd really like to trail with my tongue all the way to his earlobe. I'd nibble on it, coaxing all types of sounds from him. I honestly don't know why you're putting so much effort into flirting when we both know nothing will come out of it, Aishling comments, unfazed. What do you mean? Are you saying I can't get him? Not at all, she replies. It's just that you like a challenge in the chase, but only when it's in public. As soon as it moves somewhere more private and away from everyone's eyes, you seem to lose all interest. That's not true. Just last year, how many guys have you flirted with? I don't know. Why does it matter anyway? You've flirted with most of the athletes no matter the sport, as long as they fit your hot standards, Aishling dryly answers for me. But answer me this. How many have you actually slept with? 1, I reply reluctantly. Exactly, she agrees. Do you see my point? You like to flirt, but that's it. There's nothing wrong with that, Nellie says from behind the desk, joining the conversation. I've only been with Max, too. And I've only been with Jake, Aishling adds. It's just that it's very easy for a girl to be labeled a slut, and once she is, it's impossible to get rid of it, I complain. I seriously hate the stupid double standards. If it helps, Gabriel might act like an ass, but he's one of the few really good guys in this town, Nellie offers with a small smile. I'll keep that in mind, I say, then gesture toward the hall where the rooms are. Shall we? Nellie unlocks the door to a room a lot bigger and more modern than I expected to find. She wasn't kidding when she claimed that her parents had spared no expenses when building their business. Is the restaurant far? Aishling asks when she returns from the bathroom. Just across the street, Nellie replies. I'll wait for you in the reception, okay? I need to inform someone that I'm signing out. We nod, promising that we won't take long. The moment she leaves, I turn to my best friend. Are you okay? I ask, my brows furrowing with worry. I can't hide anything from you, can I? She jokes. What gave me away? That thing with Gabriel? I reach for her hand and pull her on the bed next to me. Cut the crap. What's going on, Lon? It's Jake, she says with a sigh, mentioning her boyfriend. He hasn't replied to any of the texts I sent. Maybe he's busy, I suggest, even though it's out of character for him. They've been glued to one another since they started dating a bit over 2 years ago. Doesn't he have a summer job? As a lifeguard, she confirms. See, he's probably working a lot, that's all, I assure her, hoping I'm right. My loud stomach picks that moment to grumble, bringing a smile to Aishling's face. I promise I'll lighten up, she says, and gives my hand a squeeze before continuing with a somber voice. You're my best friend, Claire, and I know you want to have fun, but don't forget that they're strangers. We should be more careful. I mean, just think about it. We don't even know the name of the town. Laguna Beach, I reply with a smile. The more time we spend with them, the better we'll get to know them and the less of strangers they'll be. Aishling nods, her eyes dropping on my stomach when it sounds again. Let's go find Nellie. I'm starving, I say, pointing out the obvious. As promised, our host's waiting for us at the reception, her eyes glued on the phone. Her posture is rigid, and her face scrunched up in a frown. Everything okay? I ask carefully, painfully aware of Aishling's comment about us being strangers. I'm not sure it's appropriate for me to inquire about her personal life. Nellie looks up and puts her phone away, as if she's been caught doing something illegal. She gives us a smile, but it doesn't quite reach her eyes. Ready to go? She asks, ignoring my question. I get an uneasy feeling that she's hiding something and can only hope it has nothing to do with us. I'd hate to end up chopped into pieces like those poor people from the hostel. With a slight shake of my head, I banish the thought away. Besides, Aishling likes to remind me that the world doesn't revolve around me. I try to convince myself that I'm overthinking the way Nellie rushes out of the building, but Aishling catches my eye. We exchange confused looks, but quickly shrug it off and pick up the pace to go after her. Eat like Garcia. I read out loud the name of the restaurant. My parents think they're funny, Nellie says with a dry tone, making it clear she doesn't agree with them. There's a line of people waiting to enter the restaurant. I've no idea where they came from, and exhale in relief when Nellie leads us past them, using the owner's daughter card to get us a table. As soon as the waiter takes the order, Aishling's phone vibrates. Her lips curl up in a genuine smile, happiness reaching her eyes. It's all I need to know who's calling her. Jake, Aishling says into the phone, her voice rising an octave as the relief washes over her. She puts him on speaker and sets the phone on the table between us. I open my mouth to announce my presence and say hi, but he beats me to it. I think we should break up, Jake says with a firm voice that doesn't leave much space for arguing. My eyes widen in shock. I hadn't expected the conversation to take such a turn, especially when it came to them. They were Jake and Aishling, the golden pair, the couple everyone was jealous of. They were relationship goals. They were everything until they weren't. The blood drains from Aishling's face, leaving it pale and sickly. She not only looks like she's seen a ghost, but also turned into one. Nellie sits frozen and unmoving, as if worried about making a wrong move. Maybe she's thinking about Max and how he isn't answering her calls just like Jake wasn't before now. I don't understand, Aishling stammers, her weak voice barely audible. Her lower lip quivers as she fights back the tears. I want to reach for her hand and offer her comfort, but I don't want to be the reason for her to break, not while he's still on the phone. I've been thinking a lot about it, Jake says, speaking as if he's practiced the speech many times before. I've decided that it's best if we're single when we go to college. I'm too young to be weighed down by a long-distance relationship. I want to experience everything college has to offer, and I want you to do the same. But Jake! I'm sorry, he cuts in. I hate the fact that he genuinely means it. It'd be much easier to think of him as a selfish jerk, but I can see the reason behind his decision. "You'll be okay, Ash," he promises with a soft voice. "Keep your head up and follow your dreams. Believe that if we're meant to be, we'll find a way back to each other. I just don't want us to force it and lose the years that we could enjoy living." "But I love you," Aishling pleads, her voice breaking. Tears stream down her face, free and unstoppable. "I love you too," Jake whispers back, then hangs up. The moment the call ends, I reach over and take Aishling's hand into mine. Nellie hands me the napkin, and I wipe my best friend's tears, but she doesn't seem to notice. Her wide eyes are glued on the phone, and her mouth opens and closes, but no words come out. "I'll get her a glass of water," Nellie tells me and disappears. "Ash," I say, using only her name because I don't know what else there's to say. She bites her lower lip to stop it from quivering. "You'll hurt yourself," I warn, worried that she'll bite too hard. "I'm already hurt," she whispers, sounding broken. Slowly, she lifts her head, locking her tear-stained eyes with mine. I squeeze her hand, silently letting her know that I'm not going anywhere. "He's an idiot," I tell her, deciding to be a good friend and bad-mouth the ex. Even though I always liked Jake, I'm just as shocked and blindsided as she is. "He's not," she argues. I sigh, realizing it's too soon to talk shit about him. It's his loss. At least now you'll get a chance to meet a real man. "But I love him," she insists between deep breaths that threaten to turn to sobs. "I know, sweetie," I soothe. "Right now, you're going to cry and feel everything you need to feel. You'll get it all out, and when you're done, you'll cry some more just to be sure there's nothing left. But once you're all out of tears, you're going to pick yourself up and live your life." There's one true thing Jake said during this stupid call. If it's meant to be, it will be. But until then, you have to live. "I can't," Aishling cries. "Not without him." "You can and you will. I'll be right here with you. Lean on me and I'll catch you," I promise, wrapping my arms around her. Ellie returns with a glass of water. "I asked them to pack up our food. We'll have more privacy in the room." I give her a grateful look, appreciating her help. I've had my heart broken more times than I can count, but that's unsurprising. I fall in and out of love as easily as it is to cook a plate of pasta. But not Aishling. This is her first broken heart, and I've no idea what to do to make her feel better. I've no experience, and there's no guide for me to skim through. "What am I supposed to do now?" Aishling asks, looking from me to Nellie. "Should I call him back? Maybe I can get him to change his mind." "No," Nellie says firmly, beating me to it. I let her take the lead, listening to every word she says to remember the steps for when she won't be there to help. "We're going to the room and eat the food. I already asked them to give us an extra serving of ice cream. Claire and I will take shifts handing you tissues while you cry. When the evening comes, we'll go to my house to get dressed. After that, Gabe will pick us up and take us to the bonfire, where we'll get drunk as fuck." I nod eagerly, fully on board with Nellie's plan. "I don't want to go," Aishling says, shaking her head. I cup her cheeks, wiping her tears with my thumbs. She reluctantly looks me in the eyes. "I won't let him ruin your summer," I tell her. "We're going to have the night we'll either never forget or struggle to remember. I bet your car that he'll come to regret his decision." Aishling licks the tears off her lips and sniffs. "You really think so?" I wish I could see the future, if only to tell her that she'll be okay. "I know so," I assure her, with more confidence than I feel. Aishling wraps her arms around me and leans her cheek against my shoulder. Nellie gives me a compassionate look. The girl code mode is activated, bringing the strangers together to soothe the broken-hearted. We might be strong alone, but we're definitely stronger together. Also, there's safety in numbers to help prevent drunken calls. "I want to make one more stop before we go to the bonfire," Nellie says, glancing at her phone in a way that matches Aishling's anxiety. "Where?" "To find my boyfriend," she says, keeping her voice low as if she's afraid of someone eavesdropping. I'm trying really hard to convince myself that nothing bad happened to him. Well, besides what had already happened. "What are you talking about?" I ask, lowering my voice to match hers. Nellie looks at me, Unsure if she can trust me, whatever she sees in my eyes must have convinced her otherwise, because she sighs in resignation. I haven't heard from him in 2 days, and with all the death surrounding him, I thought I should give him space, but now I'm not so sure. My brows furrow in confusion, and I take a deep breath, trying to ignore a cold chill that spreads over my body at the mention of death. I'm worried that Max could be hurt, or worse, she says, then pauses, giving Aishling a sympathetic look. Her lower lip trembles as she continues. Best case scenario, I'm also getting dumped.